Hi, I'm Alex Crayley. I'm a filmmaker and pop culture historian. I've made it my life's work to show the world how important films are to us and the unexpected ways in which the film world collides with our real world. This is Crayley and the Real World. Rosswood Hospital has sat abandoned since its closure in 1999. Ever since, it has been the subject of countless urban legends and ghost stories. Students from the nearby university often trek through the moonlit woods surrounding it to visit this place as a rite of passage, staying just long enough to see the crumbling walls and the dark, twisted hallways. It's also well-trodden ground to Jay and I personally, as we shot a major part of one of our projects out here when we were film students together. This old hospital is...
Wait. Are you not gonna say what it was called?
No, I wasn't planning on it, but I guess you can.
Okay, it was called Alex Crayley's Marble Hornets, and it was about, stop me if you've heard this before, a guy comes back to his hometown after graduating college, and things are different.
Please don't put any footage of that in.
I'm going to.
No.
Okay, well maybe I'll just do it in the edit when you're not looking. Sorry, you were saying.
Anyway, the old Rosswood building is deeply connected to this place. It's provided young creatives with an unending supply of inspiration over the years. And soon, we're going to venture back into it. But before that, we're joined by a local folklorist and expert on the history of Rosswood.
I'm Jodi Locke, and I'm the Assistant Curator and Lead Archivist at the Rosswood Historical Society, and I'm deeply passionate about our local history.
Jodi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, could you tell us a little bit more about Rosswood Hospital?
Well, Rosswood Hospital was established in the spring of 1952. Its campus consisted of two main buildings. The first was the dormitories, that was for housing patients, and the other was for treatment during their stay.
So when you say their treatment, what are we talking about?
Rosswood was primarily focused on the treatment of mental health disorders. While most of the records from Rosswood specifically are redacted or sealed, it's safe to say that mental health wasn't as well understood in 1952 as it is today. In fewer words, Rosswood was an asylum.
And given that context, we're probably talking about some pretty barbaric treatments. Are like shock therapy?
Shock therapy, solitary confinement, even lobotomies, which were never formally outlawed in the United States.
Wow. And it's those kinds of barbaric practices and the behaviors that surround them that likely formed the basis for a lot of early slasher films. The idea of the crazy killer, right?
I don't know that I would say that exactly. In fact, when it comes to the treatment of the mentally ill in the United States, the truth is much more horrifying than fiction. That being said, most urban legends have some grain of truth to them. I've heard of plenty of instances of escapes during its heyday and even up until its closure.
So patients would get out. Would the police just round them up and send them back? What happens?
Sometimes. There were genuine disappearances. I can think of one instance. From 1998, there was a young boy who ran away during his treatment, and to my knowledge, he was never found.
It's probably some tales and myths that came from that incident alone.
It's possible. This whole thing is like a game of telephone, you know, with every subsequent retelling, the truth gets stretched and it becomes harder and harder to get to the heart of what actually happened.
Right, and it's that kind of malleable storytelling that ends up being urban legends. A place like Rosswood Hospital has to be ripe for that sort of thing.
Absolutely. I've heard of plenty of folks going to the grounds themselves to see if they can catch a glimpse of the spirits still wandering the grounds after all these years.
And it's my understanding that those kinds of people are the types that are all too eager to experience their own ghost story, basically, right?
Right, exactly. I should point out that going there is legally considered trespassing, but there are plenty of folks who are comfortable with taking on that kind of risk if it means that they can experience the otherworldly.
Now, do they?
I've heard stories, but that's folklore, right? It's the oral tradition of regular people in a community, and in this case, Rosswood.
With that in mind, before we head out to Rosswood Hospital proper, we thought we'd take a walk around and talk to some folks, find out what stories they've heard, and maybe what other urban legends they're aware of. But keep in mind, this is a college town, and it's a Friday night, so anything goes.